Hi everyone, I'm going to describe to you my project, which is the development of an integrated online electronics troubleshooting lab for distant learning using NI LabVIEW as well as NI Elvis workstation. Let's take a look at the setup over here. What we have is the troubleshooting board that is used in our labs to train students in troubleshooting, and also above it, as you can see, is the Elvis workstation, and on my left here is the student notebook that is being connected to the Elvis workstation via the USB cable. In our current setup, the troubleshooting board is used to train students in debugging faults that are set up by deep switches over here, and the students will use the logic probes, the scopes, the digital multimeters, even the function gens to try to troubleshoot where are those secret faults. In this new setup, we are proposing to use the Elvis workstation, which provides us with digital IOs, function gens, as well as oscilloscopes, and even counter circuits that can control a switching relay circuit to simulate the faults on this board. And once the students have hooked up the systems, they can actually start the troubleshooting via this online system. And these online systems allow them to access not only in the lab, but also remotely via the computers at home or elsewhere. Let me now zoom in to describe a little bit of this digital clock troubleshooting board. There are 6 digits over here. On my right hand side, this is the second digit. The middle set is the minutes digit and the hours digit. These deep switches set up the faults for the student to troubleshoot, and the faults are mainly created for opens and shorts on this board. Right now, I have also a camera, a webcam over here that is connected to the student PC, viewing exactly what is happening on this board. Because during troubleshooting, the students are required to look at the digits if the digits are actually moving at the right or in the right order. In order to facilitate this online learning with the automatic settings of faults, we have connected this troubleshooting board now onto the Elvis workstation. And over the Elvis workstation, we have created the switching relay circuits to switch the relays according to the fault sets by the student, so as to simulate these faults on the computer. We use also the analog over this portion, as well as the digital IOs, and even the function gens and the DMM and scopes to facilitate the students to take measurements on this troubleshooting board. Let me now move to the software on the LabVIEW to describe further. This is the front panel of the LabVIEW program that was developed to interface to the Elvis platform to control the troubleshooting of the board. First, I will run off this from the LabVIEW controller, and requires the user to first key in their password and username. Once running the system, the student can actually set up the faults over here. There are 3 faults being set. You can select the faults one at a time to troubleshoot the board. And once the fault has been set, you can also select instruments to be used, for example, digital multimeter, or even the scope to see the waveform. And over here, he can select the test point to monitor which particular test probes he wants to monitor in the circuit. He has the option to also select the camera to view what is happening on the actual board. As you can see, on the board, and he also has the option, in fact, to manipulate or control certain parts of the circuit to test out, for example, the hour digit. He can manually adjust the hour digit by the push of this button here. As you can see, as he pushes the button, the hour digit is changing. Now I will demonstrate the part where the remote user using the browser can also access the system. So he can actually, now this is the browser screen on the remote client, he can request to control the workstation in the lab. So now he has requested control. He can switch and start to also look at various signals, various test points in that circuit. You can choose to disable the camera. And you can see that he can observe the digital multimeter as well as the scope readings on the front panel remotely. If he decides to release the control back to the server so that other students can use it, he can finish his job and release the control. And now this control has been passed back to the server program in the lab. So this is how we can use a remote lock-in using remote panels from LabVIEW to control the workstation, the Elvis workstation in the server in the lab. Thank you.